May 19, 2021, the display of 5 planets continues. Jupiter and Saturn are morning planets, visible in the southeast before sunrise. After sunset, brilliant evening star Venus, Mercury, and Mars are in the western sky. The half-full moon is to the upper left of Regulus. By Jeffrey L. Hunt. Chicago, Illinois, sunrise, 5:27 a.m. CDT, sunset, 8:08 p.m. CDT. Check local sources for sunrise and sunset times for your location. 5 planets are visible in the sky today. Jupiter and Saturn are in the southeastern sky before sunrise. Venus, Mercury, Mars, and the Moon are in the evening sky. Morning sky. Jupiter and Saturn are in the southeast before sunrise. Saturn rises over 4 hours before sunrise. Jupiter follows less than 50 minutes later. By 1 hour before sunup, the ringed wonder is about 1/3 of the way up in the south-southeast. Saturn is slowing its eastward trek compared to the stars of Capricornus. It begins to retrograde in a few mornings. This morning the planet is 0.6 degrees to the right of Theta Capricorni, Theta Cap. Bright Jupiter, 24 degrees up in the southeast, is 17.0 degrees to the lower left of Saturn. The gap between the planets has opened since their great conjunction 5 months ago. Jupiter is brighter than all the stars in the morning sky. Saturn is dimmer than Jupiter, Vega, and Arcturus, but brighter than the other stars this morning. The Jovian giant continues its eastward ramble through Aquarius. It is 2.0 degrees to the upper left of Iota Aquarii, Iota Acher, and 4.6 degrees to the lower right of Theta Aquarii, Theta Acher. Use a binocular to see the dim starry background with the planets. Both constellations are famous, but their stars are dim. 5 planets would be visible at once, but the sun's brightness overwhelms the sky during the daytime. Jupiter and Saturn set during the day. Venus, Mercury, and Mars rise during the daytime. The moon is at its first quarter phase at 2:13 p.m. CDT. When you see the moon in the sky, the 3 planets are between the lunar orb and the sun. Evening sky. After sunset, brilliant Venus is entering the evening sky after its solar conjunction nearly 2 months ago. 30 minutes after sunset, find it about 7 degrees up in the west-northwest. A clear, unobstructed horizon is needed to see the planet, and a binocular may initially assist in finding the planet. Mercury, dimming each evening, is 7.5 degrees to the upper left of the brilliant planet. This separation is the typical field of view of many binoculars. Both may fit into the same field this evening. If not, then locate Venus and move the binocular slightly to the upper left to view Mercury. Venus as an evening star article. Read more about Venus in our summary document. By 45 minutes after sunset, a binocular may be needed to initially see Mercury. At this hour, it is nearly 11 degrees above the west-northwest horizon. Depending on the view of the sky, Venus is still 4 degrees above the horizon. Mars, less than 1/3 of the way up in the sky in the west, is nearly 25 degrees to the upper left of Mercury. Here's more about Mercury during May 2021. By 1 hour after sunset, Venus is very low in the sky. Look for the star Elnath, the one budding with horns, 3.8 degrees to the upper right of Mercury. The star is the northern horn of Taurus. To the upper left of Mercury, Mars is marching eastward in Gemini. After its close opposition during October 2020, the planet has dimmed considerably as our planet moves farther away. A binocular may help spot the starry background as the moon continues to wax and brighten. The red planet is 3.4 degrees to the upper right of Mechbuddha, Zeta Gem, the folded paw of the lion, and 3.5 degrees to the lower right of Wasat, Delta Gem, the middle of the sky. Wasat is close to the ecliptic, like Regulus in Leo. The moon and bright planets pass near these stars. The planet is below Castor and Pollux, the stellar pair that marks the heads of the twins. Here's more about Mars during 2021. Find a detailed chart of the motion of Mars during the month here. The bright moon, 55 degrees up in the southwest, is 4.9 degrees to the upper left of Regulus, the Prince, the brightest star in Leo. The constellation consists of a backwards question mark and a triangle. The backwards question mark is known as the sickle of Leo, a farmer's cutting tool, and makes a silhouette of the big cat's head. The triangle marks the lion's haunches with the tail, Dinvola. As the moon continues to wax, the dimmer stars become more difficult to see with the brighter moonlight. At the latitude of Chicago, Venus sets 71 minutes after sunset. Mercury follows less than 45 minutes later. Mars sets less than 4 hours after sunset and about 90 minutes before Saturn rises in the southeastern sky. The 5-planet display continues tomorrow, although Mercury is dimming each evening. Detailed note: 1 hour before sunrise, Jupiter is nearly 24 degrees above the southeast horizon. It is 2.0 degrees to the upper left of Iota Acher and 4.6 degrees to the lower right of Theta Acher. Saturn is 17.0 degrees to the upper right of bright Jupiter. Saturn begins to retrograde in a few mornings. It is 0.6 degrees to the right of Theta Cap. The Moon reaches its first quarter phase at 2:13 p.m. CDT. 30 minutes after sunset, brilliant Venus is nearly 7 degrees above the west-northwest horizon. Use a binocular to find Mercury, M equals 0.7, 7.5 degrees to the upper left of Venus. The Moon, 8.3D, 53%, is nearly 60 degrees up in the southwest. 15 minutes later, Venus is over 4 degrees above the horizon, while Mercury is nearly 11 degrees up in the west-northwest. Mars, over 27 degrees up in the west, is nearly 25 degrees to the upper left of Mercury. The Moon is 4.9 degrees to the upper left of Regulus. 1 hour after sunset, Venus is just above the horizon. Mercury is nearly 7 degrees up in the sky. Use a binocular to see Mars 3.4 degrees to the upper right of Zeta Gem and 3.5 degrees to the lower right of Delta Gem. Read more about the planets during May 2021. 2021, May 22, Saturn retrogrades. May 22, 2021, Saturn, the ringed wonder, begins its retrograde motion today. The planet is in the southern sky to the upper right of bright Jupiter before sunrise. The planet is at opposition on August 2nd, and ends its retrograde motion on October 10th. 2021, May 18th, Planet Quintet, Waxing Moon. May 18th, 2021, bright morning planets Jupiter and Saturn are in the southeast before sunrise. After sunset, evening star Venus, Mercury, and Mars are lined up in the western sky. The thick crescent moon is higher near Regulus. 2021, May 17th, planets, moon lineup. May 17th, 2021, the 5 bright planets, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and Mars, are visible in night sky. Jupiter and Saturn are in the morning. Evening star Venus, Mercury and Mars are in the evening sky with the crescent moon. 2021, May 16th, lunar occultation, Mercury best. May 16th, 2021, the moon occults a star in Gemini this evening, and Mercury reaches its greatest separation from the Sun. Bright Jupiter and Saturn are in the southeast before sunrise. After sunset, evening star Venus, Mercury, Mars, and the lunar crescent are lined up above the western horizon. 2021, May 15th, planets on review. May 15th, 2021, 5 planets and the crescent moon are visible today. Morning planets Jupiter and Saturn are in the southeast before sunrise. Brilliant evening star Venus, Mercury, on its best evening appearance of the year, Mars, and the crescent moon are in the western sky after sunset.